Okay, so today I'm going to continue where I left off on my last video, where I showed how to set up reference images at the correct scale. And my original plan was to create this model off camera and then come back with another video to show how to export the model and import it into Blender. But I decided to go ahead and record the making of this model since it's kind of a good beginner tutorial for anyone that's new to plasticity. Now, I already have my image plane set up, but if you want to see how to do that, just click on the link in the description below to watch my previous video. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a cylinder, and I'll snap it here at the origin to set the base point. Then I'll drag out and click to set the diameter, and then drag up and click to set the height. Then I'll come over here to the dialog window, and I'll set the radius to 6.25 and the height to 4.5, and then I'll right click to accept it. Next, I'll hit G to activate the move tool, or you can click the move button on the toolbar down here. And I'm going to move the cylinder down -2.25, so the center of the cylinder is sitting at the origin. Then I'll hit R for rotate, or you can click the button down here on the toolbar. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And if you hold down the control key, you can snap to 5-degree increments, or you can specify the angle that you want over here in the dialog. So I'll type in 90 and hit enter. And now if I hit the number 1 key on the number pad to switch to front view, you see it matches up with my section reference image. And if I hit the number 7 key, switch to top view, it matches up with my top reference image. And if I hit the number 3 key, it matches up with my front reference image. So now I can start modeling the pulley. And I'm going to start working on this side. So I'll select this face, hit O for offset, drag in and left click, then set the distance to 1.25, hit enter, and then right click to accept it. Then I'll grab this handle and extrude in and set the distance to -1.75, hit enter and right click. Then hit O for offset, drag in, and it doesn't want to cooperate for some reason, probably because I'm recording. Every time I hit record, these programs want to screw around and not work correctly. So I'll escape out of this and try it again. Select the face, hit O for offset, drag in, and there it goes. So I'll drag in, left click, set the distance to 2, hit enter, then right click to accept it. Then I'll grab the handle and extrude out, set the distance to 4, hit enter and right click, then hit O for offset, drag in, left click, and set the distance to 1.25, hit enter and right click, and then grab the handle and extrude in, set the distance to -1.5, hit enter and right click. Next, I'll come around to the back side, select this face, hit O for offset, drag in and left click, set the distance to 1.25, hit enter, and right click to accept it. Then I'll grab the handle and extrude in, set the distance to -1.75, hit enter and right click. Then I'll hit O for offset, drag in, left click, set the distance to 2.31, hit enter and then right click. Then grab the handle and extrude out, set the distance to 0.88, hit enter and right click, then hit O for offset, and it's going to act stupid again, so I'll escape out of this and try it again. Hit O for offset, drag in, and now it's working. So I'll left click, set the distance to 1.565, hit enter and right click, and then I'll grab the handle and extrude in. And this time I'm just going to drag it all the way until it opens up on the other side, and then right click to accept it. Okay, so now I need to create this recessed surface. So I'm going to come over here and rename this to Pulley, and then I'll hide it for a minute. Then I'll hit number 1 on the number pad to switch to front view, and I'll draw a corner rectangle. I'll snap it to the origin to start the rectangle, then hit C for center, and that will let me drag out from the origin equally in every direction. And now if I hit the tab key, I can enter the X dimension, which is 3.5. Then I'll hit tab again, and now I can enter the Y dimension, so I'll just type 1 inch, and then hit enter to create the rectangle. And now I'll hit G for the move tool, and I'll move the rectangle up 6.25. And now with the rectangle selected, I'll come down here to the toolbar and click these 3 dots to open up the menu, and I'll choose Revolve. Then I'll snap to the origin to start the Revolve command, then drag over on the X-axis and click again to set the second point, and then right-click to accept it. And now I can unhide the pulley, and I'll also delete the rectangle. And now I can use this ring to cut out the recessed surface. So I'll select the pulley, then hit Q, or come down here and click the Boolean button. Then select the ring. Make sure I have the operation set to difference, which it is because you see the ring is red, which means it's going to cut away from the cylinder. So I'll go ahead and hit OK, and now I have that recessed surface. Next, I need to punch these 6 holes through, so I'm going to hide the pulley again and create a cylinder. I'll snap here at the origin to set the base point, and then drag out and drag up. I'll set the radius to 0.375 and the height 2 inch. Then I'll hit R for rotate, and then I'll hit V, which will allow me to relocate my pivot point. So I'll snap it here at the origin, and now I can rotate 90 degrees, and I'll move it over 1 inch. Then I'll hit number 3 on the number pad and move the cylinder up 3.75 and hit enter, and then right click to accept it. Then I'll come down to the toolbar and click the radial array button. I'll snap to the origin for the base point, and something's wrong here, so let me try this again. And it's still not working. So what am I doing wrong? Let me hit 3 on the number pad to switch to side view and click radial array, and now it's working. So yeah, I guess it helps to be looking at the model in the correct orientation. So now I just need to make sure degrees is set to 360, which it is, and set number 2 to 6, and then click OK. Now I can unhide the pulley, select it, hit Q, or click the Boolean button, then select one of the cylinders, and hold down the Shift key and select the other cylinders. Make sure I'm set to difference, and then click OK to punch the holes through. And now I just have 2 more holes to punch through. So I'm going to hide the pulley again, create a cylinder, snap to the origin for the base point, drag out and drag up, set the radius to 0.5 and the height to 3 inch. Then I'll move it up. Then I'll create another cylinder, snap it to the origin, drag out and drag up. Then I'll set the radius to 0.375 and the height to 3 inch. And that's not right. Why did I type in 0.75? Set the radius to 0.375. Okay, that looks better. And now I'll hit the number 1 key on the number pad to switch to front view, and I'll move both cylinders over -3.75 and move them down into position. And now I'll unhide the pulley, select it, hit Q, select one of the cylinders, then hold down Shift and select the other cylinder. Make sure I'm set to difference and hit OK. And that's it for the basic shape. Now I just need to add in all the chamfers and fillets. And I'm going to turn off X-ray mode so I won't get distracted by all the extra edges showing through from the back side. And in case you're unfamiliar, if you want to chamfer or fillet an edge, select the edge and then click and drag this handle. And if you drag to the right, it will apply a chamfer. And if you drag to the left, it will apply a fillet. And then when you let go of your mouse button, you can set the distance over here. So I'm going to escape out of this, and I'm going to select this edge, then shift select this edge, and this edge. Then I'll click and drag to apply a chamfer and set the distance to -0.03. And I'm going to chamfer these 6 holes the same amount. And I'll also chamfer these holes. Then I'll come around to this side and select these edges and these holes and chamfer them also. So that's it for the chamfers. Now I just need to fillet the rest of the edges. So I'll select these 3 edges here and click and drag out a fillet. And then I'll set the distance to 0.25. And I'll come around to this side and I'll do the same for these 3 edges. And then I'll do these 2 edges here. And then lastly, I'll select these 4 edges and I'll click and drag and I'll set the distance to 0.24 for these. So there's just a little bit of a flat spot here. And it looks like I have some leftover edges here from the rectangle. So I'll just select these and delete them. And that's it. So I'll hide my reference images and I'll turn off edges so I have a nice clean model. I'll turn off overlays, which will hide the grid. And then I'll turn on render mode, which will give me some nice highlighting on the edges and a shadow underneath. And I'll switch this matte cap to this one, which will give me a nice satin finish on the model. And I'll turn on perspective. And now I can screenshot this and share it on social media to show off my model. And that's about it for this one. In my next video, I'll show how to export this model and import it into Blender. But if you have any comments or questions about modeling in Plasticity, go ahead and post them below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.